Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian Families collection. For today's video we're going to be unboxing this set here, which is a special collaboration set. The official set name is Sylvanian Families Les Secrets by Laduree, and it's a collaboration set with the French patisserie Laduree. Now, if you don't know, Laduree is a French manufacturer and retailer of high-end pastries and candy. It's a patisserie and it was established in 1862 in Paris, France. We have a few branches here in the UK and they obviously sell their fancy cakes and pastries. They're quite famous for their macaroons, and some of the locations have sit-down areas like a cafe where you can go and eat in or take away. The set was released in 2021 in Japan, and as with a lot of these kind of collaboration sets, it didn't get a release outside of Japan. It was also a very limited run and sold out very quickly, so it's unfortunately quite difficult to get a hold of these days, unless you're willing to pay quite a substantial sum. I did get this set on the second-hand market, but quite shortly after it came out, so the price wasn't cheap, but it's nowhere near what it is on the market these days. I've kept it in the box all this time as I just thought the box is absolutely beautiful, and I really wasn't sure whether I was going to unbox it or not. But it's kind of just been sitting in my box of things waiting to be unboxed. So I figured, let's bite the bullet and let's unbox it. I have noticed just from seeing it laid out like this that I think quite a few of these pieces reuse molds. So we'll look at that at the end of the video as well, as the molds that they use come from cheaper sets. So if you really would love this set but can't, afford or don't want to pay the extortionate price of it, you could recreate it somewhat using pieces that already exist in the range and maybe having them as they are or painting them to match this set. So we'll do that at the end as well as a setup as well. But let's start as always taking a look at the box. So this front view here, you can see it's one of the boxes where everything is in plastic and all laid out, so you can see all the parts of the sets all nicely laid out. It looks like a really kind of Instagram worthy flat lay picture, which is why I think I've kept it in the box all this time. It's got this lovely gold intricate detailing all around. Set name here. What I didn't realise is this is a separate piece, this kind of lacy bit. So let's just leave it on for now and then we'll take it off. The side of the box has this kind of pretty, almost wallpaper-esque design with roses and laurels and things. Other side of the box is exactly the same, and the bottom. And then if you take this off, it's that way all the way around, just this lovely pink box. It came in this kind of clear cellophane originally, which kept this attached to the box. Got the set name on the top. And then around the back is where you'd find the usual information. So it's got the flat lay image with all the pieces that come in the set. It's got your warnings, etc. It's got some instructions. And then here you can see the set release year 2021. So let's go ahead and get it open and take a closer look at all the pieces it comes with. So the way the box is set up was a little bit different to what we usually see, and it was more like a presentation box. Really, really pretty box. But here you can see I've got the plastic insert out. We've got Freya, we've got Skye, and then we've got all the accessories. I feel like if I try to cut this open and take everything out, it's all going to go everywhere. So I'll probably open it off camera and then show you each bit one by one. I've also gone ahead and got the Delicious Restaurant from the Town series out. I thought that was a great building to set this up in front of, as it's this lovely mint green colourway, which is one of the, or similar to the Laduree colours. The other colour being nice soft pink. Let's start with the figures and start with Freya. This is of course Freya Chocolate. She is the sister character from the Chocolate Rabbit family and she's kind of the main figurehead of the brand. I would be very surprised if you don't know her, but there may be people who are new to this little world. So she is in a take on the Laduree uniform. Lovely black dress with pink accents and some cream on there as well. So she's got this little kind of brownie taupey apron, pink bow, little belt, and then she's got double bows at the back. This dress is all one piece and it's quite a stiff, thick cotton fabric, so it really does hold its shape very nicely. We don't usually see Sylvanians in darker colours like this, especially black, so this is quite a nice, unique outfit. I would presume that Freya is working at the Laduree cafe or patisserie as kind of a part-time job, one of her many part-time jobs in the village. The set then also comes with Skye Persian. She is the grey Persian cat sister. She also has a twin sister, Lyra, who is white. She is in this absolutely beautiful pink and white dress. I love this dress. It's so pretty. It's all one piece, but it's got kind of this pink silky top with these lovely dainty little lace sleeves and some pearl detailing on the front, different lace around the collar. Then the skirt has kind of two layers. There's this tulle layer, which is in a really pretty soft pinky peach, and the hem is finished very nicely. And then the underskirt, which is this kind of quite soft, almost velvety kind of fabric. And again, it's got lovely lace trim around the bottom. And it's quite a nice full skirt. It's got room for her fluffy little tail at the back. And then she has this really pretty ear accessory. We've seen these flowers quite a lot recently on more modern interpretations. It's got pink middle, lovely green bow, and then it's lacy all around, kind of like a scrunchie. I'm really happy that they picked Skye for this one and not Lyra. Lyra would obviously fit the aesthetic, being that she's white fur and it will go really nicely with the pink and the rest of the set, but I think the grey actually really offsets against the pink and white really nicely and makes this dress really stand out. So I'm glad Skye has got her moment to shine. Then we have some larger furniture items. So first of all, we have this lovely shop counter. The main colour of this is the Laduree green, and then it's got some gold accents here just on these flower details. Nice moulding on this, but it is a mould I believe we've seen before, which we'll see later in the video. It has a removable shelf here and then a lower shelf with this removable kind of paper piece. It's good quality paper, but it is paper, not card. Pretty flower pattern on that. The back is hollow. So let's pop that just back here. I don't think we'll set up all the little accessories in it now. We'll just take a look at them and then we'll do the setup right at the end of the video after we've compared some pieces. Then we have the other big furniture items, which is table and chairs. So table, 2 chairs. Let's look at the chairs first. They're identical, so we'll just look at one. Pretty pink and white colourway with the accents called out in gold. Little gold feet on the bottom as well. Very pretty ornate chairs. And then for the table, it's got this lovely rose pattern and laurel detailing on the top. It's got some nice trims on the under edge, and then the kind of table leg or stand is very ornate with some gold on it as well. Really pretty, but again, these are reused moulds, I believe. Put that off to the side like so. Oops, completely blocking Skye's face there. Let's move Freya behind the counter and Skye just there. That's better. Let's look at the Laduree branded pieces next. So there's some paper and card pieces. So first of all, we have this Laduree bag. This is a fairly faithful reproduction of an actual bag. It's even got the little cord strings. It does look huge though. Someone's making a massive order. If we put it next to Skye, you can see it's very big. She would be able to hold it, but I think it would probably look better as a display piece or with one of the adult Sylvanians. We then have a couple of boxes, so this one for the cakes and this one I think is specifically for the macaroons, judging by its shape. These can open just like so, and they're just pre-folded boxes. Feels the same kind of card as the usual Sylvanian boxes. It's got a nice glossy print on it though. This one for your macaroons. Laduree branding again, and I actually have these in human size, so I think this is meant to be this box here, and it is a pretty faithful reproduction. I don't have a macaroon one, but I do have this pink one, so again, pretty faithful reproduction on the colours. We then have a couple of napkins. These are just plain pieces of card and they're printed on one side. And again, I do have an actual napkin or serviette. Again, pretty faithful down to the colour and the positioning of the branding. And then finally on paper pieces, we have a little menu. And inside it has some information and pictures of the macaroons, but it's too tiny, the print, to be able to read. Then onto the silverware. To start with, we have this lovely two-tier cake stand. The details on this are very nice, made to look like silver. We have a cake fork or cake scoop. Again, the details on this are very nice, made to look like silver. Pretty ornate handle and a nice shape to the actual scoop part. We then have a teapot with removable lid. Again in this nice silver colour. Nice mould on that, it's got quite a ornate kind of classic look. And then finally we have two little cake forks, 2 teaspoons, again in the same silver colour and quite ornate in their moulding. Again, I think all of these are reused moulds, but we will check that later on. I've managed to cover Skye's face again. She's really not in a good position there. Let's move her again. Poor Skye, not getting her time in the spotlight. We then have porcelain pieces. They're not actually made of porcelain, they are plastic, but they are the plates and cups. So we have these lovely ornate plates in the Laduree brand colours, the green and the pink, with these lovely gold details on them. Just plain white on the back, but the rims are painted gold. To sit alongside those, we have cups and saucers. So here are the saucers, matching again to those plates we just saw. And finally the cups. These are really pretty. I love the colours and details on these. We have a pink one and a green one. Very ornate handle. Tea or coffee cups. And they sit very nicely on the saucers and just keeps the branding going through those. Then onto the actual sweet treats for the shop to be selling. We have a rainbow of macaroons. There's 8 different colours, 3 of each colour or flavour, 24 in total. They all have identical moulds, so we'll just take a look at one of them up close if I can get one out, because they're very fiddly and tiny. So here you can see the moulding on it. It's got the cream in the middle, it's got the 2 top and bottom to it. The cream is just the same colour as the rest of the moulding. These are absolutely tiny, so very easy to lose, but got plenty of flavours there. Then we have 2 of this kind of cake. This looks like raspberry to me and whipped cream on top. Then also has these holes in the top for another accessory I'll show you in a second. These are very pretty, nicely detailed. And then finally on the sweet treats we have these, which look like a kind of fruit tart. I'm guessing maybe strawberry or cherry, and then again big whipped cream and 2 little holes on the top. These are nicely detailed. You can really see the kind of shortbread-esque texture on these bottom parts. Pastry for the tarts. And then final accessories, you get 4 of these little cake toppers, 2 in this very pale kind of yellow creamy colour, 2 in this bright red, and they also have the Laduree branding on them, and they can be put in the top of those little cakes. Just like so, so they look a bit more like the ones you see in the shops in the cases all decorated. And that is everything that the set comes with. So before we do a nice setup and make it look all pretty, let's just have a look at where I think moulds have been reused. So starting with this big cabinet piece, we can see it is the exact same mould as this piece here, which is from the Town series. It's from the Chocolate Lounge set that either came bundled in with a grand department store or you could buy it separately, even down to the removable shelf. Clearly this one has more details painted onto it with the gold. Oops. However, it is a reused mould, so if you did want this piece, you could in theory get the Chocolate Lounge to get the piece and then paint it or customize it yourself. Again, she's going to think I have a vendetta against her. So next up, the table and chairs. So these are a mould we see a lot in the Town series in different colours. So the ones I've grabbed here came with the Elegant Town Manor in this lovely purple colour. And you see the table is pretty much exactly the same. The only difference being that the rim down here is not painted gold on this version. So that's one version. There's also a brown version that came with the Delicious Restaurant. But the one most similar to this, I think, is this one here. So if we nick one of these chairs, I think these are even exactly the same, just the gold paint is very slightly different. And that's not really showing on camera. This one, the gold paint is very slightly darker. So the darker paint version is from the Rose Garden Tea Party set. So if you want these chairs, that's the one to go for. Or there's a number of Town series that also have the chairs where you just have to do some customization if you wanted to. The table from the Rose Garden Tea Party set is almost exactly the same as well. It has the gold detailing down here, again just in a slightly darker colourway, but it has the roses on the top of the table painted in this pretty pink and green. So it might even be that this one is slightly nicer than that version, but again, if you're looking for the table, I would go for the Rose Garden Tea Party. Onto these pieces. These are again from the Rose Garden Tea Party. You can see they are the exact same moulds as the cake, fork and spoons. They're just a slightly different colour. This is a more matte, plasticky looking grey, so I do much prefer this nice silver, but they are available in that set as well if you were already getting it for the chairs and table. They also appear a few times in sets in the Town series. The cake stand, teapot and cake fork also appear multiple times in the Town series. The ones I have here are from the Tea and Treats set, and you can see it's the exact same mould, just different colours. For the cake stand, the teapot, again with removable lid, and also the cake fork or scoop. These are exactly the same, just different colours. These obviously have more of a white theme. I do like the silver. I think it looks really nice for a kind of fancy cafe. But again, you could customise these pieces as they're available a lot more cheaply. Macaroons appear in a number of Town series sets as well. The Chocolate Lounge and Tea and Treat set being 2 that do have macaroons. Not necessarily in all of these different rainbow of colours. However, you could easily get yourself to 24 macaroons to be able to put in the cabinet should you desire. Just not necessarily in these particular colours, maybe the pink, the brown, the green and the yellow I think we've seen, but some of these other in-between colours perhaps not. These cakes stumped me for a minute because I haven't seen them in the Town series, but we have seen them in the Village Cake Shop. So here they are, just slightly different colours. So this one here, you've got the Village Cake Shop one on the left with strawberries and the Laduree set one on the right with presumably raspberries because of the darker colour. So I've got some of the grass on my hand there. So this is the same, I believe the pink is slightly deeper on this one for the cake parts as well, but same mould. And this one was also available in the village cake shop. It's blueberries instead of cherries or whatever this is, but they are the same. And then even down to the little cake bits. This is a reused mould of these, obviously different stickers and different colours. But you could repurpose cakes from the village cake shop and make your own little Laduree stickers should you wish to. So that's those pieces. The plates I couldn't find a complete dupe for, but these cups, I thought I recognised them when I was getting them out of the box, and these are the cups that came with the curly ear cat family. And you'll notice they're exactly the same mould-wise and detail-wise. The colours are just slightly different. So if I put them alongside, these are the closest colours I could find. But you can see that the pink is deeper and the green is more minty than the Laduree green. But the moulds are the same. So you could use or substitute the cups and saucers from the curly-eared cat family. Obviously, no dupes for the paper pieces as they're unique to this set, but you could probably make some of these things yourselves, the napkins and the menu, quite easily. These might be a little bit more tricky, but definitely doable. So I hope that's helpful in showing where you can find some of these pieces, different colours mind you, but some of these pieces in other sets if you wanted to kind of create your own due to how unavailable this set is these days. And now let's finish the video by doing a little setup with the pieces. So here we are with everything all set up. I was going to film it on camera, but I kept just dropping macaroons everywhere because they're so small and fiddly and didn't think that would be very entertaining to watch. Also kept knocking stuff off the table. So I've done it off camera and here's the finished result. I think this set looks absolutely beautiful altogether. I love the pieces, I love the colours on it. Do I think it's worth the price that I see it for these days? Probably not. It is mostly reused moulds, but it is a lovely collaboration piece if you particularly like Laduree. But that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed taking a closer look at this set with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.